Hey guys, what's going on? It's Rekt Capital and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about Ethereum specifically, but also comparing it to Bitcoin's price action. We're going to be focusing on the macro price predicament for Ethereum and then diving under the hood in terms of on-chain analysis when it comes to Ethereum BeaconChain and the Ethereum 2.0 staking contract. Lots to cover in today's video. That on-chain analysis is going to be provided by Interblock, of course. You can check them out in the link in the description if you're interested. But I'm excited for this episode. We'll be talking about Ethereum in a lot of detail in terms of price analysis and on-chain analysis as well. Subscribe to the channel for more videos like this in the future, and let's dive right in. So this is Bitcoin's price action on the monthly scale. Very similar price predicament to Ethereum, as we'll see in just a moment. This is a monthly range for Bitcoin. Green is support, red is resistance, and you can see that this is a fabulous, marvelous breakout to new highs we haven't seen since May. So we're very close to revisiting this major monthly resistance for Bitcoin. Overall, you can see that in the past, rejections here, rejection, rejection, rejection. So Bitcoin has a major monthly resistance just below 60K, and we tend to see some upside wicking beyond this region. This is going to be the region that we need to watch out for in terms of breaking past that supply area. But what I want to focus on is the Ethereum range, which is analogous, right? Analogous to Bitcoin's price action. So this range right over here, Ethereum also breaking out, but it has thin resistance as opposed to Bitcoin, which has a much heavier sell side pressure residing in those 60K regions. Here you can just see upside wicking price action just to denote some resistance in those areas of 4K roughly speaking, and just above 4K at 4,300. In any case, upside wicking resistances like this tend to be much weaker than entire order blocks like this, for instance, comparing to Bitcoin. In any case, it's fantastic to see that breaking out above this green region, you can see resistance, 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 resistance until it actually turns into a support. Fantastic retest here and trend continuation. And what we're going to be watching for this month of October is for Ethereum to do the same, and then monthly candle close above red and then pull back into red before trend continuation, much like we saw right over here, right? Weekly candle close above green, pull back to green to test it as a support, and then trend continuation, and then essentially we're going to try and do the same thing for Ethereum. Monthly candle close here, wherever that might be, pull back next month, trend continuation later on. That's the macro price predicament for Ethereum. Very thin resistance ahead, so we're probably going to break out to new all-time highs for Ethereum. And just looking at the weekly chart before we dive into a bit more on-chain analysis, you can see that this is indeed the monthly range. And every time we've been able to breach past this range high here, we've made some great highs for Ethereum within the week, right? On 2 occasions, right? That is a data sample size of 2. But so far, so good here for Ethereum in terms of just retesting this range high resistance as a new support, doing so successfully, and we're going to revisit inevitably these regions of around $4,000. So that's a psychological level of resistance. But since we've broken down from 4K a few months back, we saw a very sharp correction. When we broke to 4K again, we rejected, but this time much less, right? This was a much sharper correction, and then a more shallower correction. And then once we actually when is the combination of words there, but in any case, if we reject from this area of resistance once again, we're probably going to get a shallow dip, something like this maybe, even to the range high, and then recover once again and break to new all-time highs. So promising, really promising, high or low as well here on the recent recovery. Ethereum is looking quite good at the moment. So let's dive into a bit of the on-chain analysis when it comes to Ethereum BeaconChain, and we're going to be talking about total Ethereum being staked right now. This on-chain analysis has been provided by Interblock, so thank you so much for that. And let's start with talking about the transition of proof of stake, because this has been a thing that Vitalik Buterin has been looking to transition away from proof of work to proof of stake because of the more environmentally sustainable, secure, and scalable blockchain that can emerge from that transition to proof of stake. And of course, this is all about environmental footprint. And by moving to proof of stake, the blockchain will be able to consume 99.95% less electricity. So not only is it more environmentally sustainable, but in order for a 51% attack to take place on proof of work, somebody would need to have more than half of the computing power on the blockchain for that to actually happen. But in proof of stake, an attacker would actually need to have over half the amount of being staked. And the more stakeholders there are, the more decentralized this blockchain becomes. And of course, a lot of factors go into that decentralization, but this does make the network overall more secure. So the Ethereum 2.0 staking contract has now become the largest holder, currently worth over 26 billion, with nearly 8 million Ethereum on the BeaconChain. Total Ethereum staked almost 8 million, which is quite phenomenal. Overall, though, we've been seeing an inclining tendency over time, and we're going to be soon approaching that psychological region of 10 million Ethereum being staked in total. And this is really positive for Ethereum's overall security. It makes the chain more robust, more resilient, because the amount of increasing validators and number of depositors make this more of a decentralized blockchain, and this makes it in turn more resilient. But in any case, on-chain is suggesting that Ethereum's security and resiliency is growing, number of depositors is increasing, the total Ethereum staked is increasing, and its price action is also increasing, positioning itself very well for a macro breakout to new all-time highs. Very thin resistance lies ahead. In any case, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you'd like me to talk more about the on-chain analysis when it comes to Ethereum and other cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin as well, feel free to subscribe to the channel and like the video. Thank you once again for Into the Block for sharing these insights with me for today's YouTube video. I really appreciate it. In any case, that's about it. Like the video if you enjoyed this one, subscribe to the channel of course, and I'll speak to you in the next one. Speak to you soon.